Alright everybody, welcome back to the Arena Football Nation channel, and this video is week 2 coverage of arena and indoor football. In this video we're just going to condense it all into one video just to get it caught up. We are a week behind now, 2 weeks if you count this video. So we're going to just quickly go through week 2 so we can stay in sequential order, and then we'll catch up week 3, which is finished this past weekend. In a day or two I'll have that video out. So let's jump right into it. We had a lot of exciting arena and indoor football things happen in week 2. A lot of great action. We're getting into the full swing of things, so should be a non-stop roller coaster from here on out. We'll go ahead and get started first with the AIF. So the AIF had 2 games on March 23rd. And they were both at 7 p.m. And one game featured the Corpus Christi Titans, which is one of the newer teams. Really haven't seen much out of them yet, so pretty excited to get into this game, see what they got going on. So far they look pretty awesome on social media. Their uniforms look good. They're doing all the right things, especially for a lower tier team. So really excited to see how they're going to turn out. And then you had the Mississippi Raiders, I believe. They were also going to be, a team we didn't know much going into this. They haven't really played a preseason game, or if they did, I didn't see it. But this would be the first league official AIF game for both teams, so a really good starting point to see where they're at. And in typical arena and indoor football tier 3 shenanigans, it was just absolutely insanity. The game didn't play, or if it did play, it was I guess a safety, or maybe the league just awarded Corpus Christi 2 points because it was a forfeit. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, our first forfeit of the season. So Corpus Christi traveled to Mississippi, and it turned out their facility and field of play was so unsafe. The refs and the actual president of their league decided it was unsafe to play and canceled the game, requiring Mississippi to forfeit the game. Absolutely insane. We have a little write-up here by the league, and then I'll show some pictures as well of what it looked like, so you, the viewer, can actually see what they were dealing with and how just insane it is. Some things that try to go down in the American arena and indoor football scenes. This is just tier 3 BS. Like, this stuff should not be happening. This is unacceptable. We got to have better standards, and I don't understand how it got to the point where the game was about to be played before this was realized by everybody. But here we go. It's at the Batesville Civic Center. The Civic Center itself was fine. I think it was, totally fine to play the game in it. It was just the whole surface of the field of play, the turf, and then the dasher boards. They were the part what was unsafe. But here we go, you get a write-up from the American Indoor Football League. They say, due to safety concerns regarding the playing surface, the American Indoor Football League has made the difficult decision to cancel the Corpus Christi versus Mississippi Raiders game scheduled for this evening. After careful assessment, it was determined that the conditions of the playing surface pose a risk to the safety of the players and officials. As such, the league prioritizes the well-being of all involved and has chosen to err on the side of caution. In light of this cancellation, the Corpus Christi team will be awarded the victory to the game, or for the game. We apologize for any inconvenience may cause of fans, players, staff, and appreciate your understanding as we prioritize safety above all else. So, kudos to American Indoor Football for doing the right thing. And as you can see with these pictures, flashing across the screen here, it was just absolutely ridiculous. Totally unsafe. Just insane that they even tried to play this game. Mississippi, just, if you're not ready and you can't have proper things in place to be franchise, don't do it. Clearly they were not ready, or financially they weren't ready because they didn't have a better playing surface than this. I don't know what it was. The reason why is, and it doesn't matter. What does matter is that they, AIF did the right thing, thought of safety first, and canceled the game. So the fallout from this, actually, is they have decided to actually just kick them out of the league. Just crazy. It's just one thing after another. So here you have the write-up for that. Following yesterday's event and extensive discussions with the Mississippi Ownership Group, American Indoor Football President CEO Brandon Icard has made the difficult decision to remove the Mississippi Raiders from the league schedule. The decision was not made lightly, especially given that we were only in the second week of the season. However, it was crucial for the sustainability and viability of the league that we make this decisive decision. Icard has been diligently working to address the challenges inherited upon assuming ownership. He acknowledged there have been several issues that needed correction, and I have taken steps to rectify these matters and identify more sustainable opportunities moving forward. So, man, the issues were not just one or two things. It was across the board for the whole franchise, evidently, because AIF had to make the difficult decision of literally kicking the Mississippi Raiders out of the league. So, wow. We have our first in-season fatality, boys. Rip to the Raiders. But, yeah, just crazy. Stuff like this happens, and every season it feels like people ask, well, how are they even in the league? How did they get to this point? Yeah, I just don't understand it. Stuff just keeps happening that blows my mind. But they go for Corpus Christi. They got their first win in franchise history. It's a very memorable one, and hopefully we'll get to see them play sooner than later, and they don't have to get pushed back much farther scheduling wise. But I know they're going to make some adjustments to the schedule with kicking a team out of the league. But really excited to see them get going. And once again, I think their alternate logo, just straight up the Poseidon head, is probably better than their main logo. And the uniform is really sweet. The logo that's on the helmet, I think they just went with that as the main logo. But yeah, just tier 3 shenanigans running rampant, alive and well in 2024. All right, moving on. Next game, we had the very interesting game that I was looking forward to. You had the interleague game between the NAL and the AIF, and that was the Colorado Spartans at home taking on the Cedar Rapids River Kings from the AIF. So this game was actually pretty interesting because I think the Spartans took them a little lightly. They thought they were just going to be another preseason, joke of a team, and they were just going to run all over them. I know the announcers for the Spartans definitely did. They were like, who's Cedar Rapids? What's a River King? Clearly, they didn't have any prior knowledge of the history of arena and indoor football, teams and logos, and Cedar Rapids has been around for a while. They were the Titans before they became River Kings, so that franchise in that city has been there for a long time. They're in the IFL, so put a little more respect on the River Kings name. But yeah, I'm just messing. But yeah, Cedar Rapids came in. They definitely had a little chip on their shoulder, and they wanted to prove that they should be there, and that they're much better than the outlook of them being an AIF. They got some pretty solid players on the team, and quarterback play was pretty good as well. And Colorado, this is just another test to see how good they really are. Are they going to be a team that's going to compete in the NAL? I know Shaw's going to have them going. He's going to have them going good. He's going to polish, oil the machine, and they're going to be a solid team eventually. But how long is it going to take them to get to that point? Because I believe Fred Shaw's a great coach, and I believe that they do have some talent on that team. Well, just to get in the game real quick, the Cedar Rapids struck first. They actually looked like they were going to be pretty solid in this game. It looked like the Spartans were on their heels, and we're saying, "Oh, we gotta turn things around here, and really take these boys seriously." But yeah, the River Kings struck first. You go into the halftime, and the River Kings were up 14-13 on Colorado. Fred Shaw's sitting there trying to go back to the drawing board, getting his troops together, and it looked like it's gonna be a dogfight going into halftime. Cedar Rapids did a really good job, made some great plays, and Colorado responded as well. But Colorado, I think the defense just clamped down and really slowed down the Cedar Rapids offensive prowess, and so eventually just finished the game and held them off. while scoring there late. Spartans end up winning 35-26. It was kind of a grueling, slower game, especially the second half. I mean, just first half too, with only being a 14-13 score. But yeah, lower end scoring game, and I was kind of impressed by both teams. I think they're going to be a lot better off this year than I initially thought, for them being, expansion franchises. Cedar Rapids being, straight up new from the get-go. I mean, I honestly, the Spartans are too. I was going to say the Cedar Rapids were maybe a returning team because they are the same franchise overall. But no, they're both, from the scratch up. So really cool to see an interleague game. That's the biggest takeaway from this. I think teams and leagues should do that more. And 35-26, low scoring game, but a defensive battle. And Spartans come out on top, carrying the NAL banner. So that will do it for the AIF for that week. Next up, you will be going to the NAL. We'll do some NAL coverage. You had, of course, the Spartans and the River Kings playing. That's the one game. And then the next game, which is played on Sunday, March 24th at 3 p.m., you had the Omaha Beef traveling to the Carolina Cobras. So this is, my game of the week. Sure, because, this is very likely a championship preview game. Carolina Cobras going to be a solid team going into this season, looking to defend the old guard of the NAL. They were in the championship last year. They're always on the cusp of winning one. I mean, they have won one, but I mean, winning a second one is what I should say. So, they're solid this year. They got a good group. And then you have Omaha Beef. Omaha Beef haven't lost a game in, 2 years now? So, they are the perennial powerhouse coming into the league to knock the Carolina Cobras out, or at least give them a challenge for the championship this year in the NAL. And man, it was a great game. It did not disappoint. Omaha, going to the half, was on their heels, in a real good battle with Carolina. Carolina was holding Omaha off. It was just a solid game. And yeah, everything we wanted as fans and people watching the game, we got. Final score ended up being 54-43. Omaha coming out on top. They end up, taking control of the game, holding Carolina defensively. And the offense. That offense is, when it gets clicking, they're formidable for sure. So Omaha Beef knocking off the Carolina Cobras in week 2, and at Greensboro, nonetheless. So Omaha didn't have any traveling issues, and put up a 50 burger. And yeah, so very good game. If you didn't watch it, I highly suggest you go to YouTube, search it, and it should be on the NAL YouTube page. It's a great game. One of the best of the weekend for sure. Really excited to see how the rest of the season goes. It looks like there's going to be no purely dominant team unless Omaha just runs away with it the rest of the season. But I mean, Carolina put up 43 in that first half. They were doing pretty well against them, so I don't foresee that. I think Carolina could easily, come back and knock off Omaha again, and then they meet in the playoffs or even the championship. And of course, you got Sioux City out there too. We haven't seen them play more than that one game, so it's really balanced in my opinion, the NAL this year, and I think it's going to be a great year of football. So that would do the NAL. You have now the IFL. We had 6 games in week 2, 2 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday, and 1 on Monday. A lot of great games. Some rivalry matchups right the gate. You had some old foes, some old NAL foes meet up. And I think the IFL has been amazing this year. So far, everything's looking great. The only thing I could really say is the production value of the streams have been terrible. Going off this week, it was absolutely just ridiculous how bad the issues have been for the streaming. But other than that, the play of the game, the scores, they're at no blowouts. It's been really competitive. It's been a really competitive league so far, and really exciting football to watch. So yeah, let's get into it. Game 1 on Friday, you had the Sioux Falls Storm going to the Quad City Steamwheelers. Sioux Falls usually a older franchise that has always been competitive and good. Made a playoff push last year. And Quad City, they're on the upswing. They are doing much better for themselves lately. A very competitive team. They're going to put up a good fight. And this was a low-scoring affair. You had final score Sioux Falls 32 at Quad City's 38. And Quad City just, man, late in the game had to get the seal the deal. And that's what I'm saying. It's really competitive, fun, good games. And yeah, good for Quad City. Sioux Falls, unfortunately, on the losing end of that, but it was just a great game, great finish there at the end. You got to be happy for Quad City. Some of these teams that they've been downtrodden, you know, it's good to see them on the upswing and get some success and have some fun, especially for the fan bases. You got to be happy for the fan bases. They deserve it. Just deserve to have something really exciting to cheer for, some big solid wins, especially against Sioux Falls. That's a great program. Yeah. Very good franchise, I should say. And yeah, great games. Then on Friday, of the doubleheader you had on Friday, you have Tulsa Oilers at the Frisco Fighters. And what's really awesome about this game is, besides the fact that once again, it's a very competitive game. Frisco looked like they might pull away, but Tulsa stayed in the game. Final score ended up being 25-31. So once again, solid game right there down to the end. It's really, you kind of pull for Tulsa to get that first win over Frisco. I believe Frisco is 6-0 over Tulsa. I could be wrong. I did not check. I'm just going off recent memory. But Tulsa, you know, solid franchise coming to the league last year. They, I think they had 1 or 2 wins, but they keep games close. They don't give up, and they are a competitive team. And they did that here. Frisco is just a solid team as well. They always have been. So it's going to be always a competitive matchup with a lot of fireworks here. And what's really cool about this game is they actually have a rivalry trophy for it. And I know rivalry trophies is like kind of a thing and only see in the college football scene. But I always, like, I'll be honest, I've always thought, like, why do we not have rivalry trophies outside of college? Why can't we have it in the NFL or arena football or some of these other different scenes besides college? And yeah, it's really cool. So they actually have a title for the name of their rivalry. It's called the Red River Rumble. They have a logo. I'll throw it up on the screen as well. And yeah, it's called the Red River Rumble, Frisco Fighters versus Tulsa Oilers, and it's a boot, you know, like a bronze boot on a base. And I think that's so cool. That's so, like, that makes it so much more fun for the fans, for the teams. You know, a little something symbolic to, you know, show the rivalry and the camaraderie between two teams. And of course, you got the Oklahoma versus Texas. And that's the point of it and the origin of it. So really cool. I'd love to see more of these type of things. More rivalry trophies. Let's go. Let's make it a thing. And yeah, looks like the first iteration will be going to the Frisco Fighters with that win. So really cool stuff. Go ahead and hey, put it in the comment section. Let me know if you have any ideas for rivalry trophies for some teams to play for. I know you got some other teams out there that could have, you know, pretty solid rivalries or have some history, even newer. I mean, Tulsa is this is only the second year, and here they have a rivalry trophy. So let me know if you have any ideas in the comment section below. Any rivalry trophies and, you know, design ideas you would have for teams, not just in the IFL, any of these leagues that we cover. All right, moving on. You have on Saturday 2 games, and it was the Iowa Barnstormers going to the Green Bay Blizzard. This is another game that I thought was, you know, a potential to have a rivalry. You actually even have some of the front office staff. They were on social media talking about, you know, the losing front office members have to wear some swag from the other teams. So, you know, if I were to lose, they had to wear some Green Bay stuff like a jersey or a polo or something, and vice versa. So I think that's really cool. Love the camaraderie and just I think I mentioned the friend rivalry or something like that. They're trying to think of like names for the rivalry. But yeah, it's really cool to see that kind of stuff. And 2 historic franchises in Iowa and Green Bay as well. So really cool to see that. This is just another really good game, and Green Bay ended up coming out on top, 35-24 over Iowa. You know, really solid slugfest, I guess you'd call it. Just good old-fashioned, hard-nosed football. Green Bay coming out on top. I think both teams would be all right this year. Neither one looked to be horrible in any way or shape or form, but just a good old rivalry game as well. I think they mentioned that they would even try to do like a plaque or something. I say go all in, like Frisco and Tulsa, and let's get a legit rivalry trophy. I'm thinking like a plane covered in snow, flying or something like that. Frozen in flight rivalry, something like that. I don't know, it's just good stuff. And yeah, and the Iowa front office, they did end up taking it pretty well. Made some more funny videos on social media. So you love to see stuff like that. And then next on Saturday, the second game, you have the Jacksonville Sharks traveling to take on the Massachusetts Pirates. So a lot of stuff to be excited for this game. It's the Sharks' first IFL game. How are they going to adapt to the new IFL rules? How are they going to handle the travel? Because there's going to be a lot of even harsher travel down the road. You know, what kind of QB play will they have? You know, you had their starting quarterback got injured last year before they brought in Castronova. And Massachusetts, they're just always a perennial powerhouse in the IFL lately. Ever since they got into the league, they always have a really solid roster, good coaching, and they just a solid franchise overall. They're going to compete. They're going to look for, you know, a chance to, you know, make a deep run in the playoffs and win a championship. And unfortunately, I couldn't see the whole first half of the game because the stream was so bad. It was comically bad. I think I've never laughed so much watching an indoor and arena football game, which is weird because you shouldn't be laughing at watching football. You should be like, you know, excited and happy and enjoying it, but not like busting out laughing. And man, did I bust out laughing plenty of times. Just ridiculous. They just kept on repeat saying the "we'll be right back," you know, with that song. Oh, dude, want to have nightmares the rest of my life about that. But what little I could watch, it looked like the Jacksonville was just, the Sharks were just, you know, really having a hard time adapting, and just made some key errors here and there, and offense is just flat, you know. So the defense holding Massachusetts to only 26 points is solid. That's absolutely solid. And arena and indoor football under 30 points, that's damn good defense. The offense is what hurt us, and then it looks like they're just gonna have to get it together. It's gonna take some time. Gotta be patient with it, but yeah, great job for Massachusetts. You know, another solid win against Jacksonville. Regardless if it's the new team in the league, they're going to be a good franchise for Jacksonville. So this is a solid win. Jacksonville, you know, there's some good things to take away from that, but it looks like they're going to have to get the offense going, get it adjusted to the new league, new rules, new schemes, and yeah, I think they'll be okay at the end of the day. It's Sharks, but yeah, what little game I could watch looked okay. Terrible stream. But going back on that, also, it wasn't just this game. There was multiple games with terrible stream issues. Just for the whole week, it was absolutely terrible. All right, moving on. Sunday, you have the Vegas Nighthawks traveling to the Arizona Rattlers. Just another amazing game. This was Vegas. You know, they've been not one of the strongest teams in the league. But this year, I think they're going to make a lot of noise. They have some great playmakers, and Arizona is not a terrible team by any means. They're one of the best teams in the league. And for Vegas to go into Desert Diamond Arena and come out with a win, 45-43, and another shootout, another great game, speaks just volumes of how far this franchise has come. This is another great game, and I believe it was another walk-off for Vegas. But, you know, just another fantastic arena indoor football game. And man, what can you say? Just great football. You know, no blowouts. So far, there have been no blowouts in any of these scores, and that tells you the quality of play, the talent level. You know, it's nice to see that. No one wants to watch the Sioux Falls Storm or Arizona Rattlers just beat everybody up, run through a whole season. You know, that's no fun. So, kudos to Vegas. Did a great job. 45-43. Another amazing game. And I'm sure Arizona bounced back. And yeah, how about those new digs, the Desert Diamond Arena? If you have any fans watching this, let me know how it has been for you going to those games compared to their old arena. And yeah, Vegas on the upswing. They look pretty solid. And our last game of the week for week 2, you had on Monday the San Diego Strike Force at the Duke City Gladiators. And unfortunately, this was for a Monday night game. It's good to get the spotlight on some of these other franchises. Man, this is a rough game. This is kind of boring, to be honest with you. These look to be like 2 of the bottom tier teams. They're not terrible by any means. I'm not saying that, but 32-26, San Diego gets the win. And what was really interesting about this was you had the old quarterback for Duke City, who's now with San Diego, come back and play. So a lot of interesting storylines, you know, going to these games. But yeah, this was just another rough game to watch. It wasn't terribly exciting. A couple of good plays, you know. San Diego, they get the win. Now, this is a good opening game for both teams, I think. Really to see where they're at, see some things they need to work on or what they could change, and scheme or offense or defensive wise. But yeah, just a kind of a lower note to finish the week out. I wish this was a Friday night or a Saturday night game, and maybe the Vegas or the Jacksonville game was on Monday. But either way, overall, good win for San Diego. They look to be pretty decent this year. Duke City looks like they have some stuff they can work on, but overall, not too terrible. This is only the first game of the season for them, I believe, so plenty of time to get things right. All right, everybody, that is full coverage of all 3 leagues. We will quickly go over the standings. Here you have the IFL. Looking pretty solid overall. Love the balance of the league and the talent. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great year in the IFL. A lot of great teams, a lot of great talent. You know, some solid franchises. This is no game's been a blowout. Like I said, this should end up being a very solid year for sure. And then we'll take a look at the AIF and the NAL. And yeah, the NAL also looks pretty balanced. I think it's going to be a really fun season in the NAL. A lot better than I thought it was going to be. And I'm really excited to see how this playoff race is going to heat up later in the season. You got some solid franchises and good storylines as well. The AIF looks like it might be, I'm still saying it's going to be Columbus's, you know, league to run. But they've only played 1 game. And we have not seen Corpus Christi yet or Harrisburg. You know, those 2 could come out and surprise all of us and be really solid franchises as well. And really compete and give Columbus a run for their money. So really excited to see them play. Unfortunately, Corpus Christi hadn't got a chance yet with that forfeit, and Harrisburg hasn't played a game yet either, a league game. So really excited to see how they come out and play, and we will see more. More will be revealed to us going forward once that is said and done. All right, everybody, that is all for week 2. Thank you for checking out the video. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this content and this coverage. We will have plenty more down the road. Like I said, we are behind on week 2. I had a family emergency that held me back from making videos. So I'm kind of trying to catch up and patch together what I'd already started. So just trying to get this out quickly as possible. And then hopefully here in a day or 2, I'll have week 3 that just happened from the day I make this video. And I'll have it out as well really quickly. And that way we'll be caught up going into week 4 for all 3 leagues. And then of course you have the AFL coming up. Plan on making a video about that really quick. I know teams are going into the camps, you know, their preseason camps. So I have a video just talk about AFL, and then of course we'll see how that goes. All right, everybody, thank you for checking out the video. I really appreciate all the likes, comments, and if you subscribe, I deeply appreciate that. It means the world that you all care and appreciate this content. All right, everybody, be safe. I'll see you in the next one.